Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another video. I hope you're all doing well. I hope that everyone out there is doing absolutely fantastic and that you're all having a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. There's a brand new video every single day, and there has been since 2016. I know, crazy, right? Yeah, very big thank you to everyone who has supported the channel for the last 75 years. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. We are back in the tug of crypto. Yeah, tug of crypto is a very good word for it. Despite all of this time, and I mean, it's not really surprising. You could have seen the digital writing on the wall years ago. Three coins have remained incredibly popular within this market since what feels like nearly the beginning of time. Two of them came out of absolutely nowhere, and they have been nothing but juggernauts within this market. One of them, previously despised by people who like Bitcoin, seemingly now this coin is incredibly popular all around the world. Ripple, the company, made really good decisions back in 2017 and 2018. I guess someone there must have been watching this channel because Ripple as a company was very obsessed with trying to get US regulation, to try and be nice with regulators. They did all the steps that one would have to do, and it didn't work out. So they actually began to expand in other countries around the world. I think they tried for a bit in Latin America, but they've had the most success within Asia. And I dare even put like a blanket over most of Asia with that actual sentence. And since then, we even saw years ago, and it's still kind of the same now, there's a huge economic area between Japan, South Korea, and there's one other place. And I mean, they're like obsessed with XRP. If you look at the actual trading volume and the wallets and stuff like that in these other countries, they all hold huge amounts of XRP. I assume it has to be with, if crypto's just the beginning and you hear about it and you see that your central bank, a local company, a local remittances institution has partnered with this company and they have a coin, it's going to stand out in people's minds as, well, this is regulated. This is something that we can actually use, that we know is actually real. And it's really worked out in favor of Ripple as a company. It says XRP might be the fourth ranked cryptocurrency asset by market cap. But in Thailand, it occupies the top spot. Even crazier, this is a report from the Thai SEC. Yeah, the SEC in Thailand basically did a report looking at cryptocurrencies within the country, how many people are using them, who's accumulating them, their level of popularity, all that kinds of stuff. Out of every single coin in the market, even above Bitcoin and Ethereum, XRP actually ranks number one. This isn't surprising if you've been here for a long time, as the market was just really beginning to rev up in 2017, 2018, 2019. We had a tremendous amount of news about XRP across Asia. I mean, like the trading volume, it really took precedence over everything else. You might even remember This is an old graph, and we haven't had one in a long time. It's been years. There used to be a chart that showed all 50 states within the United States, and it showed like the most popular coins per state. I think even back, this was like 2019, the two most popular coins back then on that chart were XRP and Dogecoin. And then there were like slivers of like other coins, and then like you could see some of them also had Bitcoin, but it was also XRP as well. As per the Thai Securities and Exchange Commission report, XRP has emerged as the best performing asset in the last 9 months. Yeah, notably XRP has maintained the top spot among other assets since December 2024. In that month, XRP clinched the top spot and displaced Bitcoin, Ethereum, and gold to second, third, and fourth places, respectively. This emphasizes XRP's performance in the Asian country. Yeah, no, they really actually kudos to them. We had news years ago that they had partnered with like remittance companies in Southeast Asia, as well as in Mexico. They were basically aiming for places that had more difficulty. So the way that these companies actually work, MoneyGram and Western Union, is we've gone over it. You have to have pre-funded accounts. So if you want to send pesos to Thailand and vice versa, each country would literally have to have like that currency on hand to pay out to someone in that country. Very, very 1920s of them. So Ripple started partnering with these companies and said, we can use XRP instead, use our thing as like a payment rail. And it really took off like quite quickly. So they made sure that I haven't been walking through Asia in the last 7 years, but I assume there were a lot of ads and things like for Ripple and for XRP, like, hey, send money here using XRP. And of course, it ends up sticking out in people's minds. There's a bit of a typo here, but okay. It says, meanwhile, between August 20, I assume that's 2024, and August 2025, it says August 2045, but sure, maybe they're in the future. The SEC report showed that XRP posted an upside of 390% year on year. It was able to register this performance in spite of a 9% decline in value for August 2025. Interestingly, the asset's performance is miles ahead of Bitcoin, with 85% year on year. Ethereum and gold had 77% and gold had 37% respectively. The report indicated that XRP has gained a lot of traction in Thailand and is a favorite among investors in the broader financial space. It signals a shift from traditional assets like gold or stocks and a rise in crypto acceptance within the region. If you've ever seen one of those, they do these like surveys that are like age based. So they'll ask like, younger people, then they ask older people the same exact question. And they'll say like, what do you prefer to invest in? Nearly everyone under the age of like 40 or 45, the main answer usually tends to be crypto and stocks. That kind of is usually, of course, there's some other thing. I prefer to do this, but mainly the thing ends up being crypto and stocks. For under 45, everyone usually above that number tends to choose, or rather, they say real estate. They'll say gold and a lot more traditional assets, if you will. One of the things that a lot of people don't talk about, but has really propelled popularity of crypto amongst people and young people, has to do with like the affordability of like buying a house. It's not really in everyone's reach anymore, and probably will never be unless, what have you. But so crypto has taken a really like huge chunk of the market of people who are getting older, all of us, who are looking for somewhere to invest. And, we can't buy homes for $16,000 anymore. I told you this was months ago. I started rewatching a bunch of like shows I used to watch when I was a kid from the 90s, just, for nostalgia reasons, what have you. And sometimes, like, some of the things that these people say, I'm like, one time, one of the wives, she came home, she had groceries, and she was like, I can't believe it. She was like, the bread is $1.15, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, that's so expensive. And I was like, who did what now? They went to this like burger place. It was meant to be like McDonald's-y, but whatever. And they were showing like the prices, and like a burger was like 85 cents, and I was like, I don't. Maybe it's because maybe because I wasn't paying, and older, everyone else in my life was. But were prices really that cheap in the 90s? I just looked at this. Is okay. A little bit of a mental segue. I was gonna order food last night, and then I found a burger place. I shan't say their name, and I was like, that. I thought what I was looking at on the ordering app was the menu. It said $8.99, and I was like, I don't want the whole menu. I just want the burger. And I was like, the burger is $8.99. The meal deal, I'm air quoting here, I think was $15.50 or something like that. And I was like, for a tiny fries, and so the numbers are crazy. So a lot of times I'm watching these episodes and these shows, and I see the numbers that they say. Like one of the episodes, somebody bought a dress, and they were like, well, how much was that dress? And I think the dress was like, I think 49 or 59 or something. They were like, we can't afford that. And I was like, you can't afford what? Like what did they say that was wrong? Is okay. No, so I sit here sometimes, and the point to be made after all of that is like a lot of the, I remember a lot of TV shows, and I'm watching some of them again, but you hear people on these shows talk about, our home cost, $38,000. We got this place for $56,000. And I'm like, $56,000 what? Like diamonds? Like what was the exact currency that you used? Because anywho, this is why a lot of people, when they ask in these surveys, why are you choosing crypto? Why are you choosing stocks? It's because like it is the fractionalized way of being able to like afford an asset. And if you see this asset going up in price, you go, okay, I want to be a part of that as well. Even home prices are continuing. And I mean, even if we just see a 5, 6, 7% rise per year, like it's monstrous. Like the way that assets, I told you this years ago, the people who are going to win are the people who have the assets. But like seeing it play out in real time is completely insane. There's a real estate. Oh gosh, what is it? There's some real estate show that I've been watching recently, and I started like from the like original season from years ago. And it's basically this guy, there's always a host taking people around to go like find homes and stuff like that. And I think the show started in 2016 or 2017. He's showing these people homes in Texas, in Florida, and these other places. And I mean, he's like, okay, guys, don't overreact. This is a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom. You have a veranda, you have a pool, you have this many acres. I know it's a little expensive, but the house is $275. And I was like, what? 200? You are hard pressed in like big cities. First of all, $275 buys you nothing in New York. Like you get a studio. Even in like these other states, those homes are like $600,000 now. So yeah, it's weird to see it in real time. Can you imagine what home prices are going to be in like 2035? Imagine like think of it, 2040, 20 freaking 40. It's expected by 2040, 2040. That is 14 and a half, less than 14 and a half years away, that the corporate landlords will have kind of, accomplish their goal. They will own all the real estate in the United States. If you weren't here for those videos and stuff like that, they were talking. I mean, we've seen all the graphs and all the numbers. Like they're buying so many, not even single family homes. They're buying up entire trailer parks. Like they're absorbing everything. I think it would account for around 80 or 85% of the entire supply of real estate within the United States. The idea would be the other 15 to 20% that they don't own or purchase comes from like investors who, have one or two homes, or, you have 3 investment properties, like that kind of thing. People who realize the trend and they go, I'm not selling anything like that, But this would literally mean that everyone would then be forced to only rent. Oh, you want to hear something crazy? Oh, listen. Okay. I saw this the other day on TV. It takes a lot to shock me. Listen, it takes a lot to shock me. So it was this real estate. I think it was from Bloomberg, or maybe like one of those CNBC like real estate kind of things. Anyway, so the point. Okay, cool. Calm down. The point of it was, you want to hear something crazy? The point of it is they were talking about corporate landlords. And many of these corporate landlords have made not even record-breaking profits. You wouldn't even begin to imagine that you could make this much money in a 5-year period. So what they were doing, some of these companies, is that they figured out, okay, hey, in this state, in this town, in this province or whatever, we're going to purchase around 7,000 homes, an enormous amount of homes. So what they would end up doing is over the course of a year, oh my gosh, this is crazy. They were calling these this is real, by the way. They were calling these real estate agents. And, they said, hey, we see 17 for Montgomery. We want it. 1644 on the same exact street we wanted. They were calling up these people. The real estate agent said the way that it normally works is someone says, hey, I see this place on website and I really like it. Can we have a viewing next Tuesday? She goes, I'm a little busy Tuesday. Can we do Wednesday? Cool. Wednesday, 1 PM. Let's do it. You go view the place. And you go, okay, well, we'll get back to you, or you make an offer that evening, and then you have someone come and inspect the place, and this happens, and then that takes place. She said, it takes about a week or 2 before someone, starts the whole process, and then they end up getting the home. She said these corporate landlords, these companies call and they just name houses that they saw on the website and go, okay, we'll take them. She goes, do you want to see them? No. We're buying them cash, sight unseen. And she was saying that she's like, normal people cannot compete with that. You can't compete with a company calling Blackstone, BlackRock, Housing Ventures saying, hey, we see you have 145 homes listed. We're going to take all of them for cash. So she said for her business, it's great. This is wonderful. But then she thinks about these other families who are calling and they're like, you have no stock. How is that possible? You have no homes left. So she said what happens is that these companies, oh my gosh, these companies end up buying all these homes over the course of a 1 to 2 year period in relative silence. You're not, banging drums. You're not singing outside. We just bought 100 homes. You do it, you call up the agent, you buy up the homes, and they have people who go to renovate these homes on the company's dime. So that they'll go in, make the whole thing brand new, really nice, and then the company starts renting them out instantaneously. After they own all the homes, so here's one figure. She said, here's what they do, and it's perfectly legal. This is going to blow your mind. They will buy up all these homes and then they sit on them for 2, maybe 3 years. She said another affiliate company of that. So there's always a subsidiary of a company, but they're it's still the same. So, Coinbase and Circle, these are basically the same. So think of it that way. These companies will have a branch of their company. So let's say, not black wall, but black wallpaper. Basically the same company, but they have a different name. They have a different tax number. They will sell the original company who bought these homes for $300,000 each. They will sell 5 of the homes to Black Wallpaper, the subsidiary company. They'll sell 5 of them to that company for $700,000. Some of you just let out an audible gasp. Do you want to know why? You've now changed the price in that all the comps, all the comparables of sales within that area haven't changed for 2 to 3 years. You as a company bought this for each house for $300,000. The latest sales show 5 homes each selling for $700,000. That means those 1,400 homes you just bought within that area, the only comps are $700,000. It raises the value of the homes and the portfolio by more than double. Isn't that completely insane? So she was saying there are usually other families who live in the area and who do have a home within this encompassing area. And she says she'll see them walking down the street and she'll tell them, she's like, your home is now worth more than $700,000. And they go, what? The family will tell her, we bought this home years ago for $185,000. She then tells them all the other homes around you are only rentals now. And they what? Because it happened in silence. And then she said, at one point, your home rose up quickly to $300,000. She said, but that was 2, 3, 4 years ago. Your home's worth now is over $700,000. This is so. As all these companies, they are finding a way to not only make themselves richer, but to literally price everyone out of every market. When I tell you, you don't get how early you are in this market, this is what I'm talking about. The prices that we see now, I know we all want prices to be 3x. We all want prices to be 7x where they currently are. The prices now, if XRP succeeds, if Ethereum gets used by all these banks, if Bitcoin does become a new world reserve currency, we're going to get $1 million Bitcoin. We're going to see a $65,000 Ether. We're going to get to a $500 XRP. When you talk about passive income, all the discussion has been revolving around these coins being staked, making a yield, making passive income, making you money for doing absolutely nothing. Why do you think these companies are buying up all the crypto? Connect the dots. They're always right in front of your faces. The people who hold the assets are going to be wealthy. They're not going to be rich. If you hold these coins, if you have real estate, if you have land, you are going to make out like a literal bandit. This is why I love watching documentaries and watching these little exposés and things like that. It takes a lot to shock me. My jaw dropped because I was like, in my mind as a real estate investor, I'm like, you buy and you hold, you buy and you hold. I couldn't understand at any point the scale of being able to purchase 1,400 homes in a month because you wanted to. And then years later, selling it to a company that I made to make sure that everything that I purchased more than doubled in price. These people are aiming to own all the homes and now they want all the crypto. A couple of weeks ago, when we had some little weird rout where prices fell for 3 or 4 days, I noticed instantaneously, and I was like, okay, got it. Instantaneously, my views on both channels began to drop. And it always lets me know that so many crypto investors are fair weather investors. When the weather is nice, when the weather is beautiful, when it's sunny, nice, great day to go to the beach, people love crypto. If it rains for half an hour, not the whole day, not the whole week, little chill in the air, people flee the market. It is the weirdest thing. Why are so many people in this market not understanding the actual longevity of where this is all going to go? You would never buy a home and then 3 weeks later go, I don't want it, I'm scared, sell it. For something with crypto, all these new people who get into the market, it's this irrational kind of like fear that the market's not going to zero. It's this really, and then the people who benefit always, I see on Twitter afterwards, I see tons of people being like, I bought the dip, prices went down, I bought some, and then prices go back up by 24%, and I'm like, of course you made money. Of course your portfolio is going to do great. Of course, when you can actively stake your Bitcoin and your XRP, the passive income that you're going to make is it'll literally pay for your vacations wherever you want to go every single month. This lack of vision of like years in the future is scary if you can't look that far ahead. I told you, last thought, I had a friend years ago, I told you her father was putting away $100 per month for her in a savings account because he was like, you're not saving anything. He was trying to like get her involved. Hey, I put 100, you put 100. I saw her and she was like, do you know about like savings and retirement accounts? And I was like, kind of. She was like, how do I get money out of it? And I was like, what? And then she explained that her father made it. She was like, yeah, I want to buy some shoes. How do I get money? And I was like, no, you leave the money in for she was maybe 29 or something like that. And I was like, no, you wait until you're like in your 50s or 60s and like you want to make a big purchase. Yeah, but I want the money now. And I was like, and then I tried to explain to her like the idea of something long term. Her face just went blank. Like I assume she disassociated and like went to Mars or something. She wasn't listening. You see what's happening, right? You see these people absorbing all the assets and all the money and everything, and you're in this market super early. Before we're not even in 2026. We're still in this zone, in this era of people talking about that cycles are over, that Bitcoin's price, XRP's price, Ethereum's price by 2029 will be astronomically higher because of this year-long multi-run bull market. Prices drop by a little bit, people leave this market. You've seen where prices were before. You think this is it? You think Bitcoin's not going to go any higher? You think XRP, okay, when XRP gets to $5, it's maxed out. What in the world is going on? Yeah, anyway, sorry for the long rambling, but yeah, I saw that video and I was like, these people are going to own everything and their wealth is going to, and I mean, it's exponential. When you own everything and you can literally move the market that way and everyone has to rent, that's the world that we're moving into. They want all the assets. There are three, Google it. There are three companies that own 88% of the US stock market. And I assume that number is now 89%. What about the top 10 companies? Like, my gosh, guys, get it together. We're lucky to have heard about this market. We're in this market. Yeah, so take advantage of it because rich people are basically going to be doing the exact same thing. Jeez Louise. Okie dokie. Woo! I think that's going to do it for this video. Bit of a segue, but alas, here we are. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all, every single one of you, once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting on the video, and subscribing. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.